Hello, this is the Morning Garden Show. I am having to report to you much success in the garden. It's been great. It's been wonderful. I'm here as living proof. Now, it looked cloudy outside this morning. When I looked out onto my garden from my window, from my mighty window, and I saw that there were possibility was rain last night. And I was going to jump up and down and say, okay, I planted all this stuff last night. I'm waiting for the rain. I'm not going to water. If I could avoid going out there and standing with a water hose in my hand, I'm going to do that. But it just so happens it did not rain as of yet. But I'm hoping, and I know that it will rain because it's showing in the weather report there's an 80% chance today and 100% chance tomorrow. So, ergo, or Virgo, I think there's going to be some rain. That being said, morning. Morning. I'm telling you, it's a great morning. Isn't it a great morning? All the people I'm speaking with have got up this morning, and they're still have their gardens going, and that's a good thing. I'm just sitting here thinking. I planted all that squash yesterday. I didn't dig, I didn't till or do anything. I just planted. And when I say I just planted, wait till you see the video I got coming up, the one I'm getting ready to post. Yes, it's sunny day. Okay, we don't have the sun, but the weather's still great. And I'm glad that you have the sun because that's just a beautiful thing. That sun gets into your body and you just feel like, after all those cold months, you're saying, thank you when you hit that outdoors. This is beautiful. I can go fishing today if I want. I think next week I'll go. I'll go fishing next week. Yeah. I'm just thinking about fishing now. But at any rate, going out there, putting in all the squash, also put in some zucchini, great zucchini. Um, I put that in. And I also am going to put in, I had an old bag of peas, snow peas. And I put those in. I just did. I just said, the pack was from 2000, I think it was 2015. And I said, go ahead and put them in. So I put 4 seeds to a hole, sometimes even more. And I just put them in a hole. I don't care what happens to them. And if you see where I planted them at, you're gonna be like, he's crazy. We've been listening to a crazy man. But my madness is always the reason behind it. I'm kind of using this as a grow year / test year. And there's a lot of things that I brought out that I tested and they work. One is I started feeding my fruit trees through a funnel, and I won't go back from that because I saw the results. Yes, yes, that madness is sometimes is inspiring. Um, what I did was, excuse me, excuse me. What I did was fertilize those trees with a fertilizer that's not supposed to or is not necessarily recommended to be fed to a tree, which is bloom fertilizer. Bloom. The trees that I gave that to, first I gave a set of trees the bloom fertilizer, and I didn't give the others any bloom fertilizer. What I noticed was that when the weather started to warm, trees, excuse me, trees that bloomed little to none each year had all these beautiful blooms all over them. And I said, okay, could this be the bloom medicine? How else could this be happening? Fertilizer. So that being said, I went back and I gave it to another tree that used to put on like 4 blooms a year. It just did. It didn't care. It just, look, I don't care. And that tree lit up with blooms. And I got to thinking, wait a minute now, there's something here to this. And then I gave it to all of the trees. And every single tree bloomed like crazy. I gave it to my roses, and that's what it's recommended for. And they went automatically to blooms. They didn't even really put on much size. They went right to bloom. And now they're getting ready to bloom in another day or two. Blooms, folks. Blooms equals fruit. But sometimes we complain that our trees aren't going to bloom. They won't go to bloom. And now all of my trees went to bloom. And my trees are loaded, and I mean loaded with peaches, loaded with plums, loaded with cherries. Wow. Wow. Yes, I think to a degree, because I have had trees that were full of leaves and did not have but 2 or 3 blooms that year. 2 or 3 blooms, that was it. Now, what causes that is there's a number of things. What's going on in your soil? Good morning. Good morning. What's going on in your soil? And your soil is really the catalyst to everything. Because what's coming up through that roots, up through those roots, will gauge what your tree does. What your tree does. Your tree will not bloom if the right chemical balance isn't there. It will not flower correctly if the right chemical balance isn't there. You see where I'm going at? So the soil is the key. So all I did was let me explain something. And I like that question you just asked. I really do. Here's what's going on. When it comes to trees, I made all the mistakes. I did it all. I've lost so many trees back in the day. I made all the mistakes. Overwatering, poor soil, planting them too close together, planting them in a bad area where there's no very little sun, maybe 6 hours of sun, and they recommend 6 to 8 hours. Because you can plant a tree in a bad spot and it'll leaf and everything, but won't fruit if it doesn't have the right amount of sun. What is going on here? I put them in the ground, uh, chopped them off at 18 inches or knee height, chopped them right off. Knew they were going to come back because I've done so many like that. I've done, God, I don't know, probably 30, 40 trees. They all come back. People say, is it good for trees to prune them that hard? Yes, it is. I have another lady right now. She gave me a job. She had three. I think she said three trees on her property. They different trees. One's a cherry. A couple of them are apple trees. And I told her this one thing. I said, listen, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to evaluate your tree. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to check the area that it's in. Is there enough sun there? I have some electronic equipment that helps me do that. But once I get that done, I'm going to do. I could test the soil for acidity because it should be slightly acidic. If and you use some common household items to do that. But at any rate, I'm gonna go right for the soil and check the soil, see where it's at. I'm gonna cut out all of the rotten branches, anything that died during the winter, anything that's dead. Get rid of that first. She said these trees have been growing for a few years and they have not been pruned. So I know I got my work ahead of me. I'm not going to think I'm going to have an easy day. Um, the materials, I convinced her. I said, listen, I'm going to cut the branches up and put them around these trees. She said, well, why would you do that? Why would you? I said, because the branches are fertilizer and they also act as a mulch. Excuse me. The way I garden is not pretty all the time. It's just not. I don't care about that because I learned that plants do not do well when you clean up the grass clippings and you take away all the little wood pieces that fall on the ground and everything, and the tree starves to death. I don't do that. I use the wood. In fact, I put wood around a tree yesterday that the wood was getting low, and people say, well, where does the wood go? It goes in the ground. It keeps the trees moist when it's hot. It keeps the trees fed when it rains. Excuse me. So now I cut my tree population down to 25 trees I have on my property. All of them, 6 feet, 7 feet on the mark. I will not let them get taller. And the way they branch out right, everything right there in front of me where I can get to it. Right where I can get to it. So trees bring aesthetic value to your house, but when you are using a tree to produce food, it's not gonna always be cut pretty. Sometimes you're gonna get rid of big branches because once a branch gets a certain size, that branch not really fruiting at all anyway. When they get real big, I like young, vibrant branches. I get rid of the big ones. I get rid of the because I'm not growing wood. That's not why I'm in the business of growing wood. I'm in it for growing fruit. So I get the younger branches and I take off the big ones. And some of the big branches, let's say, might be in a pretty nice place where they make the tree look aesthetically great. But there's a way you can cut that larger branch off and cause it to produce more shoots that will produce another branch right there, another smaller branch. I mean, there's ways of doing that. So that's how that works. For this lady, I'm going to go and I'm going to cut all these big branches out of her tree. I'm going to leave a certain percentage of the branches there because you don't want to do too much at one time. And once I cut them all out, and then I'm going to cut them all up and put them around the base of the tree. So she'll have no debris to take away from her property. None. Now, what will happen to the tree once spring breaks? The tree will signal that it is time to produce fruit. Why is it doing this? Because it was pruned. Trees do what they have to do to survive. They don't produce fruit for you. They know that they are missing limbs, and they need to produce fruit in order to make certain that they still are populated on this planet. Their job is to produce the next generation. We happen to eat the sacks that have their seeds inside of it in the form of an apple or in the form of a peach. But uh, that's the reason why the tree produces it. To drop it on the ground and eventually have it produce another tree. But when you prune incorrectly, you will see your tree do some weird stuff. It will shoot out water sprouts everywhere, especially one of the trees called a cherry tree. If you cut it hard, you're going to have a nightmare on your hands. It will send up so many water sprouts, and not the good water sprouts, the ones that don't produce much fruit. So you want to prune a little here, a little there. Now, when you first put them in the ground or something like that, you want to, if you want the limbs right where you want them, right in front of you, you want to cut them off at 18 inches. Cut the tree off, clip, and the tree will produce new limbs, new flowers, everything. It seems like it's setting the tree back, but it's not. It's actually causing the tree to grow faster, stronger, put out more roots, put out more branches, and you're all set. It actually stimulates the tree in the moving and getting some things done. Excuse me. If you look at any of my videos, you'll see all my trees have a pretty good structure to them. But they're pruned to produce food, not to be cosmetically appealing. And then you clean out the tree when you're pruning. You clean all that open center out so that you can get all of the air through and around that tree to keep down disease. That's what you do. So when that moisture gets in there from the steamy summer days and all of that, those funguses and bacteria build up in those leaves and cause a disease. That's why you open them up and let air circulate throughout that tree to keep that tree healthy. There's a gentleman that he's a good guy, Supreme Gardener, gave me a shout out. I think it was yesterday. Thank you very much. If you're out there listening, Supreme Gardener. Let me tell you something about water sprouts. Before we go on to it, because I don't want to get to ranting on about that. Water sprouts steal energy from the tree. That's what they do. Water sprouts grow straight up. You can always recognize them straight up. They will produce fruit, can produce fruit, but they don't produce very much fruit. And it's not a bad idea. And so you get sprouts around the trunk of the tree where you put it in the ground. If you have certain types of trees like apple trees, when you see them, you clip them off immediately. You clip them off. Sometimes they'll come right up from the root stock, from the ground, and you clip them right off. Clip them right off. And you take that same water sprout and you drop it down at the base of the tree and let it rot into the soil so it goes back into the tree. Water sprouts can be recognized. One of the dead giveaways is your branches growing straight up. That's a water sprout. And when you get water sprouts, you cut them right. Yeah, you cut them right away. You don't leave them on there. You do not leave a water sprout on there. Water sprout is nothing. It's going to produce leaves that will not produce a lot of fruit. And if it do produce fruit, it's going to be some of the worst fruit. It's not going to be all that great. I mean, you can eat it, but it's not going to be particularly sweet, or it's not going to particularly size up, like it should. But it is a water sprout. And so when you get them in your trees, there's two ways you can handle them. If you got a tree that's full of fruit at the time that you have these water sprouts, yeah, you might want to hold off and get your fruit because you already got your fruit. But because you don't want to be knocking fruit off while you're working. I've done that before too. That's another mistake. But you go in and you clip all these water sprouts off. Clip, 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 down to the little collar that's on the base of the branch. You don't cut into that collar. So you cut as close as you can to the collar. You cut it off, up, take them all off. Then cut them up into little pieces and put them on the ground. Supreme Gardener took my technique, and I like what he said. He said that I got this from Morning Gardener, this technique here of cutting, tipping, or cutting your branches back and putting them down at the base of your tree. But he added a little twist to it. I like what he said. He said I added a little twist to it. He said I take my tree branch, I just cut them up. You know, he cut them up more. In other words, I'll drop a whole branch down there, and knowing that it's going to go back into the tree. But he says no, I cut them up. He just wanted the yard look a little neater. What can I grow in the shed? Let's see. Um, what can you? What are you trying to grow in the shed? Are you trying to grow food? Trying to grow flowers? You trying to grow fruit? What are you trying to grow? Okay, I think he might have not heard me, but he might be there. I mean, she. Excuse me. Okay. What can I grow in the shade? Okay. Until you get back to me, there's a couple of things you can grow in the shade. A number of things you grow in the shade, actually. But what I usually grow in the shaded area, is I get me out. Either I plant them in the ground, or I get me some pot, and I grow me some spinach. I grow me some collard greens. I grow me some kale, and it does extremely well. Jay, how you doing? How you doing? We're here discussing tips and tricks on how to any tips on growing okra. Yeah, let it be the last thing you plant. You put it in the warmest part of the year. You want to start them growing. You could dig a small trench, which is the way I grow, just a small trench about an inch deep, and then you sprinkle them in a line straight down in that trench, and then you cover them over with some compost and water those suckers in, and they'll do the rest. Then, as they get bigger, you thin them out every 4 to 6 inches, something like that. And okra is well worth growing. It is a godsend because it will grow fast, and it loves heat. Though it loves direct heat. It makes it grow. Oh, hello, how you doing? Brother, good morning, Gardner. Good morning, Gardner. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pass on okra. Pass on okra. Oh, no, no, no. I understand what you're saying. The okra, the good stuff. Take that and cut it up, up. You stick it in big freezer bags, put it in your freezer, and you got okra in the dead of winter that you grew. That's great. That's fresh. That's organic. Yeah, okra. But don't let it get too big. When I mine get like this, a foot long or whatever, I just use those for seeds for next year. That's what I do. Seeds for next year. I don't buy any of that funny colored okra too, any of that purple stuff or whatever. I just want regular okra. Okay, let's say nope, I'll pass. Okay, yeah, I can understand that. And okra is in fact an acquired taste. It is that. So when I first tried, I was a kid, and my father used to fry it. And my aunt would fry it. And in the morning we got okra, scrambled eggs, bacon, scrapple, grits with butter in it, and a small cup of orange juice, about like that. Yeah, fried okra. Oh, you like the bull like fried okra too? Love fried okra. Now you wouldn't think he likes fried okra because he just doesn't. You never hear him mention it, but he likes it. And you can put it in stews as well. Now I'm not real good at putting it in stews, so if I needed to put it in a stew, I would go on YouTube, pick out a really good stew recipe, and I would use that. That's what I would do. I do that with a lot of my food actually. I go, how to cook tomatoes. If I have a whole bunch of tomatoes, I want to find a newer, different way to cook it. And that's what I would do. Go on YouTube and say how to cook tomatoes. How to cook tomatoes. But I digress. Okra is great for some people. It works. It's great. I've been growing it every year and it's the same seeds, the same seeds. I grow, I stop picking. I let about 10 or 12 of those pods go to seed. And when they get really dry and they start to crack open a little bit so they can drop the seeds, that's when I remove them from the plant and put them in a plastic bag, label it okra, like I don't know, but it's okra. And I put on there, all I want to do is put the date. So I know what year that okra seed came from. Now, if you want to be real particular about okra, when you crack those pods open, you can separate the biggest seeds from the smaller seeds. And of course, the bigger seeds are going to give you bigger plants, and. But when they grow in the soil that they grew in originally, they grow back faster because they're familiar with their soil. And be ready when you grow okra, no matter how hot it gets. When that okra starts producing, you better get out there and get it because it don't take you no time to turn into a big, 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 big pod. Squash grows really fast. I don't see any point anymore to try to grow them indoors. You put them in the ground and they'll come up in 2 weeks. Well, 10 days, 7 days. Oh, that's good to grow it. You grew a lot of okra last year. A lot of my seeds have been sprouting in 2 to 3 days. Okay, that's a good. That means that you're doing everything correctly. Sprouting in 2 or 3 days. The soil mix or the soil that you're using, the temperature, everything is right. How many of you out there have started or have been using rainwater in your garden? I use rainwater for two reasons. Let's see, here. Okay, I guess that means you use the rainwater. Rainwater is so beneficial to your plants. So beneficial. I have two big tanks out there full of water that I've been using all week just to water stuff. But what I'm doing right now, I'm doing something that's amazing to my plants, and I will continue to do that. Let's see, try not to use. tap. Yeah, yeah. That's it. I use it. I use it. I think he said he used rainwater. Let's see. Rainwater. Rainwater is the way to go. If you can get a hold of it, it's the best way to go. I play my container. Man. No. I used to be that way. I got the barrel system now, which is a bunch of barrels. You can get the barrels off of Craigslist and um, hook them up, set them up in such a way that I get the 55-gallon food grade plastic barrel. That's all you want is food grade. Don't get nothing that had some kind of chemical in it years ago. Think, oh, this will be all right. No, don't do that. Don't take a risk on you or your family's health. 60-gallon barrel. Okay, there you go. I set it up on 2 cinder blocks. Total, I think it's total 4. Yeah, two. Set it down on there, and that creates that gravity flow from the barrel. Just in case you wanted, I do that because when you set them up right, you could even paint them the color of your house so that they don't look too suspicious just sitting there. Yeah, I can understand that. Mm. Oh, that was pretty good done. That's nice. I mean, I got to go to work today, but I said I would stop by and talk to the good people and find out what they're doing with their gardens. Um, I had a very, and I mean extremely productive week where I said I won't get everything done, and I got everything done, and I'm getting ready to put a video up. And when that video goes up, you'll see everything I was doing. From I did a good majority of my planting. I have a ton of stuff that's got to be put in the ground still. I'm not worried about it because it's all in cups growing right now. Um, Peppers are the biggest star of the show. Kale is one of the biggest stars, and I got containers out there filled with kale. I mean, loaded with kale. I wish I would have marked it. But when they get a little older, I'll be able to tell which is which. That's one thing about kale and collard greens. You can tell. You put that in the ground. Let me tell you something, folks. When you put kale in the ground, you are looking out for your family's health and yours too. Kale is it's like it's like having a doctor on your property because it will cure you of any ails you have. I suggest that you go look it up and confirm what I'm saying. Kale is a power food, and you can buy the seeds for a little or nothing. If you don't have the seeds, let me tell you a place that don't have the seeds. This year that I've looked at, I went to Home Depot, I went to Lowe's, no kale seeds there, no collard green seeds there. So I said, wait a minute, why aren't they keeping this urban stuff in here that these folks are buying? Why is it not here? Wait a minute, kale and collard, they're not there. I remember going through them shelves. I would have remembered seeing kale or collard. So I go online and I get it. And once I get the seeds, I don't ever lose the seeds. I took out thousands, millions of seeds last year off of plants. And it was when a kale plant goes to seed, grows about 4 feet tall, and it grows these little look like little tiny little string beans on it. You wait till they turn brown, and you don't wait too long because immediately when they turn brown, they drop the seeds on the ground. They saturate the ground with millions of seeds, or tens of thousands of seeds. I'll put it that way. I don't want to exaggerate it in any way. But at any rate, that's great. I saved the seeds, and I've been using the same seeds for almost 40 years. Okay. I've been using the same seeds for about 5 years. Same seeds, and they grow so much quicker when you put them in the ground. And I said that was another plant. Kale collards, Swiss chard, spinach, all that will grow in a shaded area of your yard if you put them in pots, if you decide to put them in pots. Scarlet kale, I have also purple kale. I'm using for ornamental reasons. You catch my drift? I put them in the front yard, and people won't even know. Oh, what are those? No, I don't think you'd eat it because it's purple. And I go out there and harvest them and eat them. Uh, Mr. Bull, are you buying? Excuse me. Are you planting any kale or collards this year? Mm-hmm. Hello, hello. A lot of both, he says. A lot of both. That's what the deal is. A lot of both. He's going to be doing the kale thing, and you get them. There is a recipe. I know you don't need a recipe, but I use this recipe that's uh, on YouTube. It's called Southern style collard greens. Southern style. It is not healthy for you. It is not healthy way they hook that up. They got all this bacon they fry in a pot, and they pour some of the grease off and they add the chicken stock to it. And then once they add the chicken stock to it, they got the kale all washed and cut up, and they got onions in there. They got garlic in there. They got uh, um, a little bit of pepper. And some people actually add one or two hot peppers, like a chili pepper, in there because they want a little bit of bite to the collard greens. Um, some people mix a collard green and kale together, and they put that in a pot, and they just cook this stuff down to it turn into just something just so beautiful. You put another thing in it, which is Worcestershire, just a teaspoon of Worcestershire. You put that in there, folks. You cook this down. Even a little baby will slap your hand if you reach over there and try to get some of it. You can have it served with different types of meats, cornbread. Oh my goodness. Let me stop. Hi. Oh, okay. You're the only one that likes kale. Okay, yeah. I like them both. I just like them both. Now, I also have some mustard greens out there growing. Um, the only reason why I'm growing the mustard greens because I'm about to lose the seeds, and I refuse to lose the seeds because I've had those seeds for over 6, 7 years. And while you got to plant a whole bunch of, and you get to eat the kale, but you want to get the seeds back in your possession. Okay, I guess we're all finished with questions and answers. Don't see any, and I don't want to tie up too much of your day, good people. But it has been wonderful, absolutely great to be here and to be able to share and also to get some information from you as well. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, that's where some of the best collard green and kale cooking people come from, and also North Carolina. And we used to eat that there. And I remember it, man. It was just crazy. You're absolutely correct on that. The bull is absolutely correct. My goodness. That's where the architects of cooking it come from. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, That's where they come from. These are architects. They know what to do with kale and collard greens. Yeah, I'm just thinking back. We would come out from playing all day, and it would be fried chicken, collard greens, that oven cooked back macaroni and cheese. Um, oh, what? No, it's some kind of. She would make these apples in a pan or something, and it was beautiful tasting, brown sugar and all that good stuff. And oh my goodness, apple turnovers, I think that's what they call them. You want to grow your own food, folks. I can't make that any clearer. Trust me. Some of y'all got pockets full of money, but I'm telling you, it's getting rough. I don't mean to make light of it. It's getting rough, and you want to have backup. You want to have. I'll give you a good example. Gas is getting ready to go up to possibly $5 a gallon. They're talking about. If you don't think that's going to take a dip into your wallet, let me talk to you on the next episode and see what you got to say once it does hit that mark. I remember when it was 450, I bought a scooter at the house. Never rode it, but one trip. $3,000. I rode it one trip. I was on it one time because oh, that's some scary stuff to be on, man. Two wheels. I'm riding down the road, doing 50 miles an hour. I'm thinking, I felt like I was going 35. I looked down at the gauge. I guess the gauge was accurate. It said 50 miles an hour. So I said, wait a minute. I'm in this city. I can't be doing 50 miles an hour in the city. As I rolled past a police officer sitting to my left, he was at the light, and I said, uh-oh. And I let off the throttle a little bit. But at any rate, it's been sitting in bubble wrap. It's got, I don't know, it's 8 years old, got 60 miles on it. Just thought I'd tell that little story. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, Brown. Yes, Brown, definitely. I can't believe it's the first person to ever put their thing up there, dollar. It's great. It's great. It's just technology is something. Thank you very much. But it's Brown. I have a good friend that I work with named Brown. Yep, incredible. I didn't know how this worked, and then I see somebody did that, and it was like, wow, they just put it up there. Thank you very much. First time for everything. I got up this morning. I was a dollar short now. Thank you very much. Thank you. But keep keep growing. Definitely keep growing, folks. Keep the money that you have out of the hand of these massive stores. And trust me, when I say they don't care about your food, some of them do, but they're not following the practices of caring about your food. And when I saw the bull on here, when I first came on the air, um, I worked with this gentleman years ago, and I remember he was real easy to work with. He was real easy to work with. And even though I feel like sometimes I gave him a hard way to go, I did, but I kept letting those guards go because they would do little infractions. I would, but he hung in there with me and he worked with me. And he said, Napoleon, he said, it's kind of hard getting these guards because he's clearance guards. And I eased up and I said, yeah, I said, what he trying to do what's right. I said, well, when you get a chance, could we get rid of this guard? Because I can't have him going 50 miles an hour on the property. And he did. He got rid of him. I think it was like that next day or the day after that. And he brought me in a really good guard and I was all set. But I want to thank him for doing that. And it was easy working with him. Then when he left, somebody else came in and they tried to give me the okie dokie about stuff, and I already knew that I knew how that property works. So, but uh, he went off to bigger and better things, and congratulations on that. Um, uh, it was it was a tough job because those people really didn't want to spend that money. And every little thing they complained about. Every little thing. He remembered. He remembered that. Every little thing they complained about. But we kept him calm down because they said, let Napoleon run it. If they like him, let him run it. Don't go down there. No confusion. Just we got this. Okay, we got the food forest permaculture just entered the room. No, oh my goodness, how you doing, my good buddy? How you doing? Everything is good here. Let me tell you something, food forest permaculture, before we get off the subject of how I grew my food yesterday. Here's what I did, and if you see anybody else doing it online, you say, "Oh, I know where it came from." But I like to share the knowledge. I planted corn yesterday without digging a hole, without tilling, without tilling. All I did, I got this little. I don't know if you see the little poker stick that I have that was used to feed my trees. I don't know if you saw it, but I try to put it in the videos. This is a big steel rod. Nice, nice no tilling. Nice no till. Yeah. So I poked a hole in the ground, dropped in two seeds. I think I overkill with the two seeds because that really cut me back when I looked at it later. I said, God, you could have just put one seed per hole. I said, yes, I saw it. Yeah, I used a poker stick. I went down 2 inches, dropped in two seeds, covered up with just a little thumb, just, on the soil. And next one, 8 inches away, boom, cut it, little thing on the soil. Here's the trick. The seeds went in the ground. Tomorrow, it's going to rain. I didn't water them because honestly, I didn't feel like watering. And I knew I could get away with this. Wait a minute, Mr. Bull, I don't know what that means. He said high FFP. I don't know what that means. I'm one of the older group now. I'm one of the older group. So everything went well. Yeah, it went well. So then I got carried away, and I did, which is good because that's how you create things. I did some cucumbers like that. Now use your methodology. When you said to me one time, you said you could actually grow your grapevines and have the trees used as racks, or what they call them, when you put them up on, I can't think, scaffolding or whatever. You can use them as a support, so to speak. Well, I figured, wait a minute, cucumbers actually vine. So why not do it with the cucumbers? So I planted them in a location where they would crawl up the tree and hang on the tree. Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown. God bless you, goodness. Yes, he is. He's good all the time. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you. I'm telling you, folks, I can't believe this today. This is incredible. This is the first time I want to go on record on this date, 4/25, 2019. This is the first donation I've received in the whole time I've been on the air, and I've had a lot of great shows. It's making me I can't believe this. Nice one, Garden. You did very good. Yeah, thank you very much. But this is the first time anyone has donated anything. I appreciate that. It's just a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling. Um, I appreciate it. Thank you. The thing about it is, when you are gardening, you're taking a chance. Your crops may come in well. Does anybody remember last year when we had so much rain that you couldn't even go out into your garden to do anything? Does anybody remember that? No, they're not going to take over the tree. They're not going to take over the tree. And trust me. Oh, you're going to say, let me get it right. The bull is saying absolutely. He remembers that. I couldn't go out to my yard. Everything was wet. The yard was so saturated that no water would go down into anything. Let's see. I had a food forest like that. Thank you. It's called an arbor, folks. That's the word I was trying to think of. Thank you very much. Got people covering for me here. You got the food forest permaculture came in and said, "Oh my God, man, it's arbor," which I appreciate it. So what's going on here is I used his technique, and then I just said, "The hell with it." I said, "I'm going to grow cucumbers that way." Cause see, here's what I don't like doing sometimes. I don't like stringing stuff up all around the ground and everything, you know. And another thing I did, and I want you to get this, the bull. I want you to get this now. Put on your thinking cap. Grab a pen. Here it is. I stuck a couple of seeds in my compost pile. Cucumber. The reason why I did it. Look at it this way. If you have things grow out of your compost pile voluntarily, whether it be squash, whether it be pumpkins, whatever. And it's only growing that because the seeds were in there. It was in the compost pile. And that compost pile I had was really large. So I stuck some seeds in there. That's what I did. I stuck about 6, 7 seeds in there. And let it just grow out, sprawl over the ground, and I will have cucumbers that I will have space, in other words, for cucumbers that I never would have had before. So I'm throwing that out there for anybody who want to take advantage of that. Okay, watermelons, laugh out loud. Watermelons. Let's see. I started some watermelons in cups. Started some watermelons in cups. Young lady, it was a young lady online. She was showing some demonstrations. She said she loves growing watermelons every year. She has all the same conditions that I have, which is heavy clay in some areas of my property. But she said she grows a watermelon. She has a great time. She does produce melons. She starts her watermelon in cups. She uses a 16-ounce foam cup. She taps one hole in the center of the bottom with an ink pen, and she buys a sleeve of it. I bought a sleeve of it at Walmart. The cup filled it up with a good seed starter mix. Put 3 seeds in rectangular position, across from each other, and they all started sprouting. And once I did that, you see, because seeds that large, if you put them in a shorter cup, like the cups that come in those little trays that are only about 2 inches deep or 2.5 inches deep, the roots don't like it when they go down there and bump into, and then they just start acting weird, and then they die. So I know, I've done it before. Oh my God, Lee Farmer, 73. Thank you, bro. I don't believe this, folks. I do not believe this. Thank you, Lee Farmer, 73. He's upped it, and then he turned around and slammed that in there. I said, okay, thank you very much. Now, Mr. Lee Farmer, I want to ask you something. Have you put a video up as of yet? We're all waiting. We're waiting. Want to see what those trees look like. And I don't know if you had any time because I know you guys are working all the time. Let's see. That's out loud. I see. Oh man, excuse me. Let's see. Good morning, Lee. Pleasure to see you. Yes. Good to see him. You see him every once in a while. He'll pop in the room, and I think he used to watch. I don't want to say too loud. He'd be doing things where he would be producing income. I'll put it that way, and he'll be listening to the show, and I appreciate that. I'm in. Is the question posed to me or someone else? I'm not sure. I don't want to be answering for someone else. I think you asked me was I? Let's see. Haley Farmer. Okay. I think the question is posed to me. I'm not sure. Let's see. Can't plant it here. Okay. Was the question you asked posed to me, Miss B? Was it posed to me? Let's see. If we just giving back. Thank you very much, Lee Farmer. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay. The question was posed to me. I'm in Maryland, Zone 7B. Um, Watermelons are easy to grow if you follow these steps. One, direct sunlight. They will not stand. Period. Any kind of shaded area. They don't want it. Um, adding a compost to the soil. If you make your own compost, adding plenty of that to the soil, um, and putting in the plants, and make certain that watermelon is a plant that's a heavy feeder. Make sure you feed it. Make sure you water it on a regular basis. Thus, the name watermelon. So you want to make sure it doesn't dry out, because if you do, you get a funny taste of melon, or the plant just actually starts dying back. But you want to make sure you put about an inch or so of rain. Excuse me, always in the rain. Put an inch or so on the plant every single uh, week. Yeah, depending on the rain in your area. Okay, so but watermelons are definitely a treat. You can't really get another. You can't really get a good watermelon if you go to the big box stores. You may see them in those big boxes. Those big boxes in the center of the aisle. And when you pick them up, you try to pick them up, but you're looking for something with a slightly yellow belly, where that white is, where it's set on the ground. You're looking for slightly yellow there. That tells us that's an indication that it may be mature enough to eat. But if you get them um, and they do not have that yellow, and they just pure white, that melon's not ready. Chances are that melon's not ready. I'll put it that way. Another great thing you can do with a watermelon that's seedless, cut it up into chunks, put it in your processor, blend it, put a couple of cubes of ice in there, blend it, and drink it on a hot summer day. Watermelon drink. Watermelon Slurpee. Watermelon Slurpee. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Boy, I knew I was coming down with something. I knew it. I knew it. Because this morning I kept sneezing. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we are um, definitely on the right track now. We are definitely on the right track. We got all of these good people in the room. There's a lot of them gardening, and they also growing fruits. Everybody needs to get into growing their own fruit. Oh, I like the little watermelon symbol you got there. Brown, yes, I love that. I don't know where you got it from. I've been looking for something like that. But morning gardener. Hello, how you doing? I have been I've been out in the yard already this morning. I think I mentioned that. Everything looks beautiful out there. I mean, folks, let me just say this. Um, I cut the grass. The grass is all pretty. The grass is pretty. See, here's what I'm going at, folks, and you may disagree with me. If you take what you already have and make it into a palace, food outside, beautiful home, keep your home up, take care of your property, keep the grass nice and mowed, clean, and you know, your cars that you have, do the best you can to keep the maintenance up on them so that the oil changes are regular, because sometimes you can be riding around with no oil in the car and not even know it, because oil does use just like gas does. And you ride around, and only reason every time that check oil light come on, you've already done damage to that car. Um, so you want to make certain that you definitely live like a king or a queen on your property. That's the deal. That's just this is straight talk, folks. You don't need millions and millions of dollars. These people, some of them have millions and millions of dollars fighting every day, getting sued. People taking their money from them. They had one actor, I can't call his name, married a woman for 4 days, and he getting sued for alimony. 4 days. 4 days he was married to her. Excuse me, but you got to look at the guy too. Who married somebody after knowing them 4 days? But anyway, I digress. Make your home into a palette. Grow some of the finest foods. Grow food that's so fresh, that's loaded, packed with nutrients that even the president is not eating as good as you. Even the kings around the world, some of them are not eating as good as you. Because remember, those people hire the finest gardeners, the finest farmers to grow their food. Oh, Miss Brown. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that mercy. All right. Oh man, another one. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. My goodness. this is just something. Oh my God. Folks, I've never had this to happen before. I've been on the air for a long time, and I haven't had this happen. Miss Brown, definitely. Thank you very much. Uh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I've been doing this for a long time, and I really love it. And I like it when people go off and they start planning and they start getting success. And it's nothing more joyful than to see. I have seen it. Men and women growing their own food and feeling proud of it that they grew their own food, feeling empowered because they have some say over the fact that you're going to pay $2 or $3 for one tomato. Get real. You cook you cook the tomato, or you serve it fresh, but you produced it. It's tasty. It's loaded with nutrients. And if you look down at your children, you see them eating a tomato that you uh, uh, grew, and you know that you're doing the best you can to put the best nourishment into their little body so that they grow. That's a good feeling. Yes, you're right, Thomas. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Oh my goodness. And see, when I first got hooked, the best feeling, yes, best feeling. Uh, it's the best feeling to speed. Yes. The when you grow tomatoes, for instance, very expensive, easy to grow fruit that you can grow. It is one of the finest fruits you can grow. Easy to grow. It's easy to grow. I pleaded with people at my job to grow something this year. I pleaded with them. I said, look, why don't you try to, and I said, try some tomatoes, try some cucumbers. They're easy to grow, real easy to grow. Get you a 5 gallon bucket if you don't have a big garden. Start right there. But the trick with the bucket, let me tell you something, folks. For years, people used to do it another way, but it works that way too, but there's a better way of doing it. Just a better way of doing it. Or let's say a different way of doing it. Take the side of the bucket, come up from the bottom about 1 inch, drill a hole, go around the outside, drill a hole, put about 4 holes in that sucker, good size hole. And I would say the size bit I use on my drill is this. You get it slightly smaller than this, but about this size you want to be dealing with. And when you drill those holes in 1 inch from the bottom, it will build a reservoir of water in the bucket, and you will grow mad vegetables in that bucket. And I'm gonna come at you again with something else. I'm gonna throw something else your way. Go to some of the food stores where they cook all this Chinese food, all this American food, in these restaurants, and ask them, "Do you have any 5 gallon buckets or 3 gallon buckets?" You say, "How many do you want?" You look over at your car and you gauge it. Say, "I could take. Give me 20 buckets." You put them in the back seat, the trunk, everything. Take them home if you feel like it. I know people like the bull and um, where we at? We got over here Lee Farm, and they would wash everything out. Me, a little different. All that liquid that's in there that came from those peaches or from those, um, oh, let's say they had tomatoes in there. Now I might rinse the tomatoes out because tomatoes will definitely draw flies and all that kind of stuff. You don't want all that. But all in all, it will be a great thing to actually slide by. Now, make your own potty mix. Make your own potty mix. Don't go there and give them $2 and $9 and $12 a bag. Don't do that. All you got to do is get a big bale for about $11 of that peat moss, or you get that coconut core. And once you get this, you add your perlite. And if you're dealing with plants that require a lot of water, get you a bag of vermiculite. Mix all this together. Boom, you got a potting mix. Now, other people add other things in there. Some people might add a little bit of manure or some compost. They may add that, but me, I like to specialize mine and add certain ones at certain times, and that's what I do. So that being said, another tip on how to save some money when you go out and you're buying your supplies is to do it on the cheap. Backyard gardener. Hello, how you doing? Good morning, everyone. Everyone. Yep. And the person showed up at the time that the show is about to wind down. Why does this always happen? But we gave out a lot of good information today, and we talked about, taking care of our fruit trees. We talked about how to grow things in shade. We also talked about how to save money, which is the primary reason why I like to do the show, how to save money when you are doing a garden. Hey, morning gardener. What leaf farmer? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How you doing? You did it again, man. Leaf farmer 73 just made another donation. And I don't know what to say, man. I thank you very much. Thank you. And I said, how often do you go live? Oh, good question. How often? How often do you go live? Now, it was one time I tried to come on and tell everybody when for us to set up a time, and that would be my responsibility to just be on that day. So here's what I'm going to do. This show will be on. Let's do. Let me look at this calendar real quick because I want to make sure I'm accurate on what I'm doing. And you can write this down if you like. You can write it down if you like. This show will be on Mondays at between 5 and 5:30, and also it'll be on Wednesdays at 5 and 5:30. Mondays and Wednesdays. That's easy for me to remember because of my day off, and it will be on those days. Now, anything extra that spills over is just something extra. I'll do it that way. That way, everybody get a chance to see the show. And I enjoy doing this. And I get good people in the room like Mr. Lee Farmer, and I get Brown in the room. That definitely comes in and sheds light and just listen to the whole show. I think they've been in here for most of the show. So it's been about an hour and 8 minutes I've been wearing on your ears. So I'm going to definitely remember this. This is in fact an historical moment. This has went down in history as the show that we had started out with two people and they're up to 10. I don't get the big audiences like the some of the other channels, but I don't mind as much. I think once I get that time frame calibrated where people know when I'll be on, the audience will pick up even more. But this is the first show that I ever got donations. First show. And I want to thank the people that made that happen. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. This is incredible. I still can't get over it. This is something. Um, but also I want to point out today when I go offline in a few minutes, because I've been about an hour now, I want to get some things done in the house, but I appreciate everything you've done. Um, Thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to say real quick that uh, that it's been historical. This is the first one. I got donation. It's just it's incredible. Um, but that being said, uh, this goes down in the record books for me. It goes down to the record books. Oh my goodness! Oh my God! Reader. Thank you very much. God have mercy. Part of the history just dropped in. Another person just dropped in part of the history because this is the first time it's ever happened. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. The video that I'll be putting up when once I close out. Um, I want to say thank you all, and the video. I hope that you like the video. Is what I'm trying, and I'm trying to convey as much information as possible. On the video, you'll see me mixing soil away. Actually, you won't see me mixing, but you'll see the soil mix. You'll also see the compost piles. You'll also see this planting technique that I'm using, where I'm not digging any holes. I'm not doing anything. And then once the plants come up, that's when I do all of my dressings of compost. Uh, some of the organic fertilizer will be put around the plant, but that won't actually be put around. It will be actually put in through a funnel. So that's what I'll be doing. So that being said, I'm going to do that, and it will keep down uh, much of the wild vegetation growing because I'm just feeding just my plant. I'm not feeding the whole garden. I don't believe in that. You save cost when you just feed just the plant. Um, but I use organic foods to feed it, and I make absolutely. Oh my goodness, Miss C, how you doing? Oh my goodness, I don't believe this. This historical moment it just went down. These people are chiming in saying, "I like the show," or "I like what you're saying," and I appreciate that. Oh, Miss Brown, I'm gonna put that with Brown, because you don't know. If people are chiming in, they're just saying, "No, I want to be part of this." Because this is his first show where people start donating, and this is the first one. And actually, it's crazy because I'm like looking at it, going, "What?" And it's just popping up. God, man, and uh, um, the the techniques that I'm showing you, I'm trying to show everybody different techniques so that they can do better, faster, and become stronger gardeners. And they can produce food. The whole thing of it is produce food. Um, they are planting trees in my location of my where I live, and I want to find out what kind of trees they plant. They put in like 20 trees, and I don't know what kind they are. But they put them in an area where the other trees are apple trees. So I'm hoping that they put in some more apple trees because that will be there if people want to get things to eat. Like the kids could walk by and pick an apple, or the adults who know what they are. Who knows apples? Those are foodies. But folks, um, apple trees, fruit trees, are all getting expensive. Try to get in on them while they're still like $25 and $30 for a tree. Uh, what is it? Stock Brothers is where I buy my trees at. You can buy your trees at different locations, depends on when you want to go. Oh my goodness! Oh, Garden City, food forest. Thank you so much. Thank you. My goodness. See, this is when I tell the story to people outside of my gardening family, when I see them, they're not going to believe this. I will just tell them what happened this day, and they're going to be like, "Wait a minute, somebody actually enjoy listening to you talk?" I say, "No. When it comes to gardening, that's what we do. We share the information. We share the information. How do I constantly? I don't know. Honestly, it's something like done with it. I think she asked a good question. How does a person contribute? And I think she's asking on how do you actually do it? Because I myself is sad, but I don't actually know. I think it's done with a credit card or it's done with PayPal or something like that. I don't know, but I will say that today we know that it actually works. So the first I was somewhat suspect is it actually works. So it has. um, it has been a pleasure just to see this. This has been wild. Um, at the bottom of the okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. She's showing it. Thank you very much. She's showing the person how to do it. And let's see, money start. And backyard gardener is also contributing information on how to do it. It's incredible. It's technology allows us to do this nowadays. Allows us to do this. Receive your blessings, morning gardener. Receive your blessings, morning gardener. Garnish. Thank you very much. Garden City. Garden City. Let me ask you something, when was the last time you put a video up? Because I think it was like a couple days ago, I want to say, because a lot of your videos pop up when it comes to they'll say was recommended for you or something to that effect. But I've been putting them up on quite a few last week. You know, and I did do a couple on how to buy plants in the heart of the gardening season. I bought a plant called the hardy kiwi. Now I looked out there at it, and I got to be honest with you folks, it looks like it's stressing, but I did feed it, and it's still green, so let's just see what happens. Another thing is, I bought a grapevine, two grapevines actually. Normally they sold for $7, and I went to and Lowe's is the store that's doing it. I meant to point that right out there. Lowe's is a store that will negotiate with you as far as price. The other store, which is Home Depot, just told me no. This is a no. We don't do that. This and I had a dying plant in my hand. Actually, I named the video the Charlie Brown plant. Um, and it's a pretty sad looking plant. And they wanted $10 for it. They said $10. We're not negotiating nothing. So what I did is I went to Lowe's, got me a grapevine for $1. $1. $1. And the manager said, and you go in and you speak with the manager, always speak with the manager. And the manager said, go and, what did the manager say? He said, go and get whatever you get, each one is $1. That's what he told me. And I went through there and I got to shopping and looked through them things. And I picked out two, where is it? I don't have the box that it was in, but it's a red grape. And I got home and I gave it some of the best. Because see, when they put them in a little bags, they put it in little bags and they use a twist a tie. They don't water them anymore. They are set there for 3 months or longer without being watered. So what I did is I simply grabbed the plant up, got home, gave it a nice drink of rainwater, and the plant responded. It responded. And so that's two grapevines purchased at Lowe's. And Lowe's, now, in a couple more weeks, I'm going to throw this at you as well. A couple more weeks, the heart of the garden season will pretty much be winding down. You want to go into stores like Lowe's, and you want to, when you see things up there, like potatoes, because some people get potatoes and they hold them to next year. Oh, Mr. Brown, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Brown, thank you. Brown. I said I have a friend named Brown. He always wants me to grow collard greens each year, and I gave him some collard greens once, and he fell in love with them, and he always asked me each year for collard greens, and I always try to make a way that he gets collard greens, and that's just as simple as that. He gets a way to get collard greens. Thank you so much, Brown. Thank you. God, man. Oh my goodness. So that's what this is historical right here. This is absolutely historical moment. The Morning Gardener got his first donations on this date, which April the 25th, 2019. and they've been coming in ever since. I think about 9 o'clock they've been coming in, and so that is absolutely incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. Thank you. BBQ time, barbecue time. All right. Um, is anyone this year growing any corn? Any corn being grown this year? Am I the only one growing corn? I just want to know, am I the only one growing corn this year? I love growing and sharing with others. You know something? You have the right mentality, the right idea. You have the right way of doing things. You have the right way of doing things. That's the way you do it. You make friends and you make family when you start giving people food to eat. They remember that. They remember that. They might not remember some things about you, but they'll remember that. The food. I have an elderly couple in my neighborhood. I'm one of them, but I have an elderly couple in my neighborhood, and yes, I did, gentlemen, corn. Oh, okay, okay, that's great. Corn. Oh my goodness, I did 2 years ago. The corn. Yeah, not good. Ah, mm, I did 2 years ago, but the corn is not big yet. I don't know how you grew them, but that's for another episode, so to speak. Hi, morning gardener. Hello, how you doing? Price, Price, how you doing? Um, the thing about it is, to me, corn was always challenging. But one thing I remember about corn, corn is simply grass. It's grass, and you treat it as grass. It needs a high nitrogen source. That being things like blood meal. Another one is urea, things like that. It's high nitrogen, high nitrogen. So any fertilizer that's very high in nitrogen will help you when you grow corn. Oh my goodness, I have to put that back out there. Roots. Okay, we are moving right along. Corn is being grown on my property. I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the broadcast, over an hour 22 minutes I've been talking, and I've noticed that the corn is being put in without digging, without tilling, without anything, without loosening the ground in any way. And I'm just poking my little poker in the ground and putting the seed in at 2 inches deep and covering it up with just a little bit of thumb action over the soil. And that's definitely helping me out a great deal. All right. That being said, are there any further questions? Are there any further questions? But I enjoyed. I enjoyed. I want to go out there in the yard today and do some work. It is now 10:21 a.m. here in Maryland, and the sun is starting to peek out a little bit. And I have all my seedlings, which are starting to grow and they're getting healthier and bigger. They are um, definitely kept in a shady location, partial shade, partial sun, because those plants do not tolerate direct sun that well. They're very young, very tiny, very helpless, and so to speak. Thanks, Debbie. And the thing about it is, I am definitely uh, getting my plants together. And like I said, the dominant one out there is going to be the pepper plants. Um, Another thing, corn life is fish emulsion, which is very rich in uh, and easy to find, by the way, but it's very rich in nitrogen, and so that's good corn. Try not to make gardening complex. Try not to make it a lot of work because it's just not fun when you do that. You want to make sure that the um, soil is definitely doing what it do. All right. So remember, the new time for my show will be 5 to 5:30, on Mondays and also on Wednesdays. Now, uh, you will still get other episodes throughout the week at around the same times. But those are times I'm kind of setting in so that when you go look for this show, you'll say, okay, he said Mondays and also Wednesdays, 5 o'clock, 5:30. I'm gonna try to make it 5 o'clock, but at the latest 5:30, the show will be starting. Now, if anything comes up and anything changes, I'll be on the air apologizing constantly for any other mix up. Thank you. All right, so we are on the line right now, and we're getting ready to close it out. It is now. It's been almost, and this is a historical show. This is the longest show ever. This is 1 hour I've been talking in 25 minutes, 26 minutes, 27 minutes. So that's what's been going on. It is now 10:23. So I've been on line here talking for almost an hour and 26 minutes. I've been going. And now I have much respect for any show that's out there that does a radio show. And I know what they do. When you've been talking this long, it's like, well, you know, you know, it's just a good deal. It's a good deal. And some people can't talk this long. Some people do not have that capacity to go on for an hour and 25 minutes talking. But I have nonstop. But I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you very much, Brown. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. So it's been ongoing. Honey Bee, I want to see you at more of my shows because I'm seeing you now, and I'm saying, just drop on in, and everyone drop on in. Actually, come on and see the show, and we'll try to learn from each other. That's the whole point of the thing. So this has been the Morning Gardener Show, folks. Thank you very much each for tuning in. Thank you so much. And remember, oh, I like that right there. Peace, everyone. And as I always say at the end of my show, some of you know what it is. Keep on growing. Take care now. Have a good day. All right.